Miss Hernandez, how does it feel that your image was posted? You said, we're not doing that. It's wrong.
Well, right. That's not my thing. I just don't.
Yeah, nobody's image should be posted.
I get my point across with words. However, you when you, I just I struggle. I struggle with the feedback because it just feels like there's little ownership. There's a lot of, well, you can't do this and you can't do this. However, I mean, you should,
I get what you're saying.
on the back end, there is repeated behavior. There is repeated behavior.
But this is where, and I don't want to use the word but, and it comes out naturally. This is where, when you insert yourself not in a conversation, you hear what people say. And without actually being part of what took place, no one actually knows the facts, and they're put in a situation to believe one person or another. I didn't bring this to have anyone believe me. The only reason I'm saying something, like I said to you, Brittany, Corey could have said whatever the fuck he wanted. I don't give a shit, right? Words are words to me. What I do care about and what I have an issue with is that not only once, but twice this image has been shown by the same group of people. It should have never been shown. And there's no justification for you taking a female's or male's private area and posting that online. There's no reason for it. Especially, and I did what I did and I blurred out private areas and it was a shirtless
This was
man,
the actual
right?
JJ picture from what I saw.
This was my actual vagina. This wasn't even, they showed my whole body. They focused in on that. That is where my issue lies.
Does that mean you would have preferred the whole body?
I would have preferred that if you were going to show,
I'm
no.
sorry, that was just very confusing.
No,
the
I
way
get
that
it.
was worded.
I would have preferred, if you're going to talk about me sending an image, blur it out the same way that I blurred out people's private areas.
Did you blur it out, Hernandez, when you did it? See,
I
didn't
did.
see that whole. I heard about it, but I didn't
When
see
you
it.
sent it,
It was blurred out. It was blurred out.
Oh, you mass sent that picture out, bro?
No, I sent it to.
It wasn't.
It was. And I think I still have the original text where it was blurred out.
Yeah, I hate that happens to any woman, honestly.
You know damn well, Brittany, that man would not have blurred that out. I didn't. I blurred it out.
Across the board, it's wrong to show those kinds of pictures. Across the board.
And I understand that. I didn't.
But I still don't feel like you deserved Blonde Barbie to do that. No, I don't.
Even when they asked for proof of Colby's situation, I purposefully cut off the text not to include Colby's image. I never sent an image of Corey. Again, I never even brought that shit to an app. And he can be pissed off, right, that I spoke to his friend and said, hey, he was talking to the two of us at one point. That is what it is. I don't really care. I, as a female, did not do that online, but I think that a friend deserves to know when they're talking about, oh, well, these are the conversations we're having. Hey, guess what? We did too. And again, he can say what he can say, and I will stand by what I say. And I'm not getting into that on the app. I'm not showing proof. It's no one's fucking business. I handled it off the app, right? But at the end of the day, I had enough respect to blur out someone's private anatomy. Yes, there was a picture of them in the thing, and it was wrong. There's no negating that it was wrong. But the fact that we have had this happen to me by the same group of individuals now twice, and not more than a month ago did they apologize and say it was wrong and do it again, makes it even worse. Because if we're talking about patterns of behavior, right? You don't apologize for something and then not.
I know that, like, There's never ever going to be a picture of me like that anywhere.
And
I'll send it
I
to
know exactly what you're going to
you.
say, and I agree with you, right? But with that,
Can't trust
we
nobody.
I have openly just said that, like, I am a very insecure person, and I don't know why that makes me feel like, oh, I'm okay, but it does, and it's something that I'm working on, and I have been working on it for a year. That my body does not make me valuable. I have been working on that. That me as a person is what makes me valuable. And that's not an argument here or there, right? Like, that is something that I'm working on. That is my journey. My point is, right? You should not, if you're going to post someone sent a nude, fucking blur their private parts out. You should never. They took the effort to cut it out and put it in the fucking eye of Chewbacca. It's not appropriate. It's not okay.
Now, did it get sent to? Because I know Colby was the originator. My question is that I forgot to ask: did Colby put it in the Chewbacca picture, or was it that's
I
new
don't
thing?
know who put it in the image because I had stepped away at that point. Because I had
I must have missed
said,
like season 6.
yeah, because I was done with it. I called out a behavior. I didn't show his image. I
Mhm.
didn't release text messages. And he's known for this behavior. So why am I horrible when the same thing happens to me and I speak on it? Like, why is that
Because you're
horrible?
also known for that behavior.
I've never emotionally played with someone, Brittany.
You did. You did. You did.
I've
You
never, go
emotionally
ahead.
blackmailed somebody.
I beg to differ again. You can feel the way that you want to feel about it, right? Like, we have both realized that we're not going to feel the same way on the situation, and the obviously my feelings are different because I lived it and I know where I was at and what I was going through, and I can respect that people have their outside opinions. I don't, you're entitled to that, right? You're entitled to see what I did and base your opinions of my behavior off of what I did online. People are 100% entitled to that, and I'm never going to fight them
So
on that.
when you speak with in seeking to understand,
Hmm.
earlier you said you've been working with your sponsor.
My sponsor, my
Yeah.
therapist, my
Okay.
psychiatrist, yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. And yeah, you don't have to actually, if, okay, you don't have to answer this. I'm going to ask, but you don't have
Hmm.
to answer this. And please say, I don't feel comfortable saying that. And that's totally acceptable response. Do you have borderline personality disorder?
No, I not that they have diagnosed me with. I have no problem telling you what my mental health is. I have bipolar disorder, I have depression, I have severe social anxiety, I have PTSD, I have insomnia. There's a lot that goes on behavioral health with me.
Okay. Okay. Have you had a conversation about borderline personality disorder?
It's something we're actually exploring.
Okay. Because in the consistent patterned behavior that I have witnessed and only from the outside and just watching, right? There's a very consistent I hate you, don't leave me.
That's also very deep rooted in some trauma.
Yes, which I wouldn't disagree with for anybody.
Like hold on.
I
I
didn't,
just
please
I
don't
need
talk
I
about your
just
trauma. you don't have to trauma dump. I
no,
agree it is deep
I'm
rooted
not
in
gonna
trauma.
trauma dump, and that's
Yeah.
why I'm breathing.
Yeah,
But
I
with
agree for anybody. I don't need to know it. I
Why did I just picture
agree.
Brittany backing up like the Pink Panther just now?
I did too. And I'm not gonna trauma dump, right?
Yeah.
But at the same at a certain point, right? I really have worked hard and I'm continuing to work hard. And I'm really appreciative that we can have this conversation. right?
Mhm.
Hold on. There's a lot of trauma, and I know it's not an excuse, but I also think it takes a really strong person to be able to acknowledge that and work on that. With that being said, it's a fucking process, and I do want to say that I think there's a lot of growth, that I have not been reactive with things, and I've been really quiet, and I've tried, and I really have not brought shit to apps because I've been able to acknowledge when I'm being reactive and when I'm doing things wrong. Now, again, my issue is not that my issue is not, and there's not an excuse. I have a behavioral health issue, and that nothing's wrong because that's my scapegoat. I have fucked up in things. But my issue is my image should not be fucking shown. That is my issue. Not once, right? But once acknowledge that it should not have been shown and then reshown by the same fucking people. And it wasn't the people that I hurt. It was to mock. It was to make fun of. It was to be fucking vicious. I didn't do anything. I haven't even spoken shit on the people I don't like for that to have ever been warranted to be shown this week. There is no reason to unblur private areas of a body and show it. And that can't be argued, Brittany. It's fucking wrong. I can't be held accountable for doing shit things and then there be no speaking up of when someone's also doing shit things. You either need to take accountability and really work on changing your behaviors and working that process because it is a process, or you just continue to do shit things. It's fucking wrong at the end of the day. That is where my issue is. And I know I've done wrong. I know I've done wrong, and I've worked to change my behaviors. I've really worked on seeing the people I need to see to get the right diagnoses and do what I need to do. But
And
this
speaking
week
with
was
your
just
sponsor,
fucking wrong.
and speaking with your sponsor, you've inventoried this?
I'm in the process of reworking steps.
Okay.
I'm starting from the beginning. I know what my recovery journey entails. And I need to obviously, you know, staying in recovery and staying present on steps that I did 19 years ago obviously isn't working. I need to redo the steps from beginning to finish. And I know that, and that's what I'm doing.
Oh, you haven't done the steps in 19 years?
Well, I've done the end of the steps of a daily inventory and all that shit daily. But I need a whole refreshing from like the doctor's opinion through 12 again. And I've done it multiple
Yeah,
times.
especially if you've participated in mind altering substances since then, you absolutely should have.
But I'm also gonna say that in my recovery, you've obviously heard me, right? I have said for a very long time, I'm in recovery. I've never claimed to be a member of 12-step recovery, right? I truly embrace multiple pathways. I am choosing to go reconnect with my sponsor and re-enter a life of abstinence. So there is a period where I didn't do the steps because I was on a different pathway.
Right. Yeah, because if some portion of your life has become unmanageable because of
And
mind.
yeah, 100%. And that's why I'm back in a 12-step program, right? Like I'm reevaluating even my recovery pathway and I'm doing what I need to do that was at the beginning. But I'm allowed to be pissed off that someone showed my fucking image again. It
Yeah.
was wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm not
Yes.
playing
But
a
I
victim.
did
I'm not playing a
also
victim of
hear you take somebody else's inventory.
When did I take someone else's inventory?
When you were talking about when you were talking about when mental health matters and Barbie's recovery and she should be doing this and all of that.
So what I said is, and I don't know if you have the full clip yesterday, is that
No, I don't. I wasn't around
okay.
so much
So what I
yesterday.
said is, and I will clarify this, and I bet you if you ask whoever's live that was, they can also, I have no problem if they send it to you. What I said was, I find it really odd that because someone is having something they're going through, all of a sudden recovery is an issue when no one gave a fuck about my mental health or recovery when you posted my image, because mental health and recovery is sacred for everyone, not just when you have something done to you.
Here's my position on how I feel about things. I believe everybody is responsible for their own mental health.
Mm-hmm.
That's the position that I take.
And I agree with that. I'm responsible for my mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And I am responsible for acknowledging when I am not in a good place, taking accountability for that, and also taking the steps needed to better that mental health. Now, there are outside contributors that might add stressors to my recovery and add stressors to my mental health. And you can't say recovery is sacred but then do behaviors that can add stressors to people's recovery and still want empathy. Like it baffles me, that mindset. And that was my point yesterday. You're going to shift because someone posted a video of you and talk about how unfair that is to your recovery, but yet literally drag someone who has not interacted with you, who has not spoken shit on you, who really has walked away and been in my own little world and not give a fuck about my recovery. To me, it's extremely hypocritical.
Okay.
Like I can't have any sort of like compassion of like, I'm sorry you're going through something in recovery when you just posted my image and you didn't give a fuck about mine. I'm sorry. I'm normally a very empathetic person, but I don't feel bad for you.
Wait, were you involved in the video?
That was posted yesterday?
Uh-huh.
No, I have
Oh,
been.
so then okay, then yeah, I don't think that she has asked for your empathy. You know what I mean? And here's the position that I take, and I stand on this across the board, across the board. If I were in a position, okay, so in past, the feedback that I would give of, well, I don't know how to word that correctly.
I do that too.
You are lost for words? Holy shit.
No. I'm
I'm
not
kidding.
lost for words.
Okay.
It's just in a public
Right.
forum. There are certain, you know, I've
I
been
get what you're.
extremely
Yes.
involved in the recovery community. It's something, and I don't like to talk about like a lot of things about my role in that super publicly, just out
And
of
and that's
respect for
okay.
a lot of
I
Hey,
can
things.
hey,
under I AP, please. One
I want to
second.
say something to Britt real quick. Hey,
Uh-huh.
Britt,
Yes.
can you please don't use the dictionary? I ain't got the Brittany dictionary out
AP,
today.
please stop. I'm being dead serious right
I
now.
am too. I
If
love
if
Britt, but come
if
on.
you need to pull up Google and look up the words
You're
that you
so
have a problem
stupid.
with.
I'm going to help you expand your vocabulary today, AP. Okay.
That's raggedy. You can't even say raggedy right. It's dork.
Like I I'm the thing is, I and
Okay,
You
Britt.
know, I have been very quiet the last couple days. Very, very quiet. I also last night knew my situation was being spoken on by another creator, right? And I wanted to voice my experience. I did not speak anyone's name. I did not go into details other than the fact that sharing a visual like that is inappropriate. I did not talk about anyone's character. I still stayed very well within boundaries, right? Of not disrespecting people. Like, and yet, and I'm not running away because I'm scared of what people are going to say. I'm quiet because I'm meeting with my sponsor. I'm quiet because I'm going to meetings. I'm quiet because this
I
is
agree
where I
that
don't repeat patterns. And I was really, really fucking quick to realize I'm in a fucked up place. I need to not
remove
post
yourself.
videos. I need to not interact and I need to focus on me.
Right.
But
That
All
would,
yet
right, I'm going.
yeah, that's the
when I was
feedback that I
focusing
would
on
give
me,
is remove yourself.
I'm
but when
almost
I
to
was
work. You guys have
focusing
a
on
good day.
me,
Bye,
okay,
Pu2.
when
Bye.
I was focusing on me, my body and
Bye,
that
Britt.
image was
Bye.
the topic of conversation for hours. And the reason that I know that is because I was bombarded with screen recordings. And I didn't post any of those screen recordings and I did not get into any detail. But I also am not going to allow people to speak my story and bring it in to something it shouldn't be. I don't care what people say about me. You can say what you want. Do I have a past that's not the best past? 100%. I think all of us, especially us who have any sort of substance use disorder, have a part of us that, like, we did some really fucking shameful shit, right? And I think that if you struggle with mental health, there's going to be things that people can talk about that you did that were fucking unsavory in the eyes of people. That's
Hmm.
okay with me.
Hmm.
Don't show my fucking image and don't use my image
I got
to
drunk once and did cartwheels in Walmart.
make me feel some sort of shame when I have not continuously gone back and forth with you. I haven't even interacted with these women. To be 100% honest, Brittany, before that live was held, I was sitting in a box with AP telling him, I don't even care how I feel about these women. Do not speak to them in the language and the way in which you speak to them. It's inappropriate.
Right. So my my position on things is, uh, image is gonna make me want to wash my hands. But from my understanding, it is of my understanding that Corey shared that he received an unsolicited. I have never heard anybody else. I've never heard him make that accusation of anybody else. I have never heard another woman make an accusation of him sharing an image, even those he has been in a relationship with online. So for that information to come out, I you know
And again, Brittany, I don't want to be have this come off as disrespectful to you, right? You're hearing one side of a story. I am
mhm.
not putting in the effort like I had before to put to engage in it, right? I have taken a step back. I literally am focusing on my mental health. I did that without going fucking crazy. I did that without engaging and screaming from the top of the roof, trying to make a story sound valid or prove a story wrong. I'm not doing it. I have the capability of, you know what, sadly, I will say a year later and a lot of work to realize that does nothing.
Mhm.
All that does is put more strain on my mental health. I don't care what you want to say about me. I know the truth. right?
Mhm.
And I'm not going to put it past anyone the same way that you can say I've done
Mhm.
it in the past to
Yeah.
speak my side of things to make it look a specific way when that necessarily was not 100% honest and transparent. But if I'm going to be questioned and people are going to say, well, maybe she's not telling the truth, you don't know if Corey's telling the truth. You don't. And that's the reality of the situation. You're taking someone's word, and people are taking someone's word, and that's fucking fine. That's what people do, right? You believe what someone tells you most of the time, especially if they haven't proved you otherwise. That's not my argument here. I'm not engaging in that. I have not engaged in that. I haven't spoke on that. I really don't give a fuck because I'm focusing on me. I'm doing what I need to do. And I have the capability to know instead of engaging that my mental health was the most important because I've worked really fucking hard on it this year. My issue is my image. That is what my issue is.
Mhm.
It should, the first time, yes, I gave some grace. A apology was given that it was wrong, and then it was done by the same individual, right? So this is where my question comes in, right? We have spoken about me. We have spoken about taking accountability. We have spoken about how I shared an image. I have never reshared an image. I've learned from that. So at what point, like, I'm working on myself, but you're gonna repeat the same fucking thing that you just apologized for, and yet I'm an asshole because I have a problem with it?
Hmm.
And like I'm not trying to deflect anything. I've done what I've done and I've worked really, really fucking hard. But I wasn't poking at, I wasn't taunting, I wasn't even speaking on, even if I was speaking on someone, I was using fucking words. My image was taken, put into another image, and then after an apology was made for that in the past, it was repeated
Hmm.
unwarranted, not out of reactiveness, not out of I did some foul ass shit, right? After literally telling someone, don't speak to those women like that, it's inappropriate. That image should have never been shown again. That's my issue. But yet I could say a million times, I fucked up, I'm really working on myself, and I'm still continuously proving myself by changed behaviors. But yet this is a repeat behavior and it's just fucking all fun and games.
I think the
Sorry.
I just again I am of the position where I feel pretty capable of getting to somebody's core with my words rather than well, some images I be making some cartoons and shit, so don't get me wrong there. I mean, I'd be
Yeah,
you
no.
know those images, those my the images that I tend to use are different.
Mm-hmm.
um so you know, but as far as I just struggle with the changed behavior. And I don't know why I'm up here because I didn't hear all the conversation yesterday.
Well, I
So
appreciate you being up here. I think that I have no problem ever having a grown up conversation, right? And
I'm not a
speaking,
screamer. I would like to have more facts. I I did hear one thing yesterday
yes.
that was I heard Sassy say, if you don't respect yourself, how could you demand the respect of others? I, not just in this situation, but pretty much across the board, I also tend to agree with that. Um,
So this is where I think it's really unfair of someone it's just actually utterly inappropriate, right? To define that because someone sends an image, they don't respect themselves without knowing what the underlying issue is. Now, I've clearly stated to you there's a lot of trauma
Yes.
that causes me to do some of the things that I do and seek validation the way that I seek
Mm-hmm.
validation. And again, I'm actively working on that. And I have been, right?
Mm-hmm.
For way before a year. This has been a very long thing of healing that trauma. But to
Mm-hmm.
sit there and make an assumption that someone doesn't respect themselves without getting to actually know the underlying issue, that doesn't make it truth because that's how you feel.
Now this is
I
gonna sound way, 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 way like I'm going back, but you guys, I was dealing with something that was very, very serious, and I can't repeat what's going on. That's why I've been on mute this whole entire time and not paying attention. Girl knows what's going on, but that's the only one that's going to know. Respectfully, it's not coming on this app. Anyway, long story short, I'm just kind of getting back into this. So this is my question, and I'm sorry if this re-triggers anything, honey, and I apologize.
No, that's okay.
So Blonde Barbie shared those images. This is what I'm tracking?
It was put in a live, what, 2 days ago, 3 days
Right,
ago?
because
I don't even remember how
Correct.
many days ago.
I didn't watch the video.
It was Barbie that green screened it.
Okay, so Blonde Barbie screened it, and you sent those photos privately to
an individual. Again, I
To an
don't need to put
individual
that individual's name
that
out there
has-
because
right.
I'm currently working on
right. That is
continuing
not
to change behaviors.
that is not said that you've sent those. You know what I mean? They're not sitting here saying I did it, right?
No.
Okay.
And the thing
I'm
is,
sorry.
people
I
have
just
said
want
to me, it's because of that individual. No, it's not because of that individual, because that individual, since those behaviors of them have not repeated the behavior. They didn't post that picture a couple days ago, right?
Okay.
And for all I know, they could very deeply be working on changing their behaviors, and I'm going to give them the space to do that. They don't need to be dragged back into this because an image that was made by someone 6 months ago was then used 2 days ago. They have nothing
Right.
to do with that.
Right now here's my question. It was green screen, and again, I didn't watch the video, but I was sent it, and I was asked to send it somewhere else, so I did. I'm not that kind of person that's gonna, like, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna respect peace and let people talk about it and go from there. But I do want to kind of get a little bit of a recap. So where does like Corey and them come into it? And again, I'm sorry, I'm dealing with some shit.
It was that live where the image was
Okay.
shown.
Okay. And Corey didn't say anything at all?
I wasn't in the live, so all I'm basing off of is the fact that my image was shown and people sat there and literally went into intricate details making fun of that image. And it was malicious. You know,
Right,
people,
so-
like I said, people can say what they want to say. Don't put my fucking image up. It's
Right.
that simple.
Right. So basically, it was a bunch of freaking girls that started all of this. That was making fun of your shit.
From my perception and what I've been shown, that's how it is presenting itself.
What
Now,
What are we doing on this app anymore? What the fuck? And I'm not.
give me
being
1
disrespectful
second,
towards
guys,
you.
because Aiden
Sorry,
just
baby.
knocked on my door.
I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead, you
baby.
can keep talking.
You're okay, honey.
Just please stop me and correct me if anything that I'm saying is wrong, because right now I am really overwhelmed with a lot of fucking shit that just happened personally. So I may or may not have as good of a filter as I need. Okay, so girl, you understand. Just stop me if I'm too far ahead. What the fuck are we doing?
It's nothing I would ever do.
Why are we exploiting other women's sexual images? Regardless, what
I don't know.
are
I would
we
never
doing
do it.
as women?
I don't think anybody should do it to anybody.
And I don't mean no disrespect, Brittany Ann. I don't know what play you
Well,
have.
no,
in this thing.
no, wait. Brittany didn't say that it's okay. It happened, Hernandez. She didn't say that. She was just
I
speaking
just said I
about
didn't know.
past
I didn't know.
situations.
I didn't know
No,
what.
Brittany
No,
never
hang on,
said it was
hang
okay.
on, hang on.
Sorry.
Sorry. No, I was saying Brittany's sitting there, and I'm saying all of this, and then I just wanted to apologize to her because I don't know what role she has in this.
Oh,
or
no, she
anything.
was
So,
talking about, yeah.
Brittany, I'm sorry for saying what the fuck is going on. I apologize. I don't know you, and
No, Brittany knows about the prior situation. Like, I don't even know the details about the prior situation. That's what they were discussing. But yeah, Brittany, make that clear, never said it was okay what happened. Never
oh
said
Yeah,
that.
no, I didn't
Brittany
think she would.
partook in none of this the last couple of days, and
No.
she never has, right? Like she's had her opinions and she's spoken on that, and like I said, people are entitled to their opinions
Right,
on my behavior.
right. And you're not saying that you're innocent because you did send those pictures. However, they weren't supposed to
Correct.
be exploited the way that they have been.
And like Hernandez said, she's been working on herself. So I get where Hernandez is coming from.
Oh
Why do I
yeah,
take accountability and then I still get punished, and change behavior and all that? But I also do agree with some standpoints Brittany made as well. But I
And the thing
still, at
is,
the end of the
I
day, just
agree
think
with
it's
some of the
right.
points Brittany has made, and I've
Absolutely.
never not agreed with those points, right? Like
I'll tell you right now, I know you take your accountability, but for what you did, you're wrong as fuck. However, if you truly have been changing behavior for that situation, you took your accountability, it necessarily doesn't make it okay for it to happen to you. I stand by that.
And I've been able to listen to Brittany and her opinions, and not for nothing, but the way that she has vocalized things when I was in that place a year ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was part of the reason that I was able to take a step and be like, I'm fucking up. I need to rework on myself. I've never
right.
like go ahead.
Let's not also detour the fact that those people did that though. Like, I mean, I don't know what the whole story is, but the fact that women are sitting around doing that shit and doing it on an app they know that children are on here, that right there's pisses
Yeah,
me off.
that's what I said earlier. If we're talking about how Hernandez said she was in a manic state when she did her responsibility a year ago, whatever. Again, still not excusable, still not okay in my book. However, you were in a manic state, and I have sympathy for that. But Blonde Barbie, that's my thing. Blonde Barbie wasn't in a manic state. She wasn't hurt by Hernandez. She wasn't, in a relationship with Hernandez. That's where I'm saying it's wrong on what Barbie did.
Well, Camo too,
Camo
But
did.
here,
Oh, I
but
didn't know that.
Well, wait a minute, Camo did
no,
what?
hold on,
Yeah,
hold
Camo
on.
had her
Oh, I didn't
Camo
know
did,
that.
for a
Camo did
while.
as well.
Yeah.
And but the difference is, right? Camo has taken quite a bit of time to speak to me, and she has never repeated those behaviors, and she has respected the fact that I am working on myself and giving me the space to do that and getting to know me for me based on my behaviors today. And that's where I say I can, as a person, see that people make mistakes, and I can take an apology. And if the behaviors continue to change the same way that I am trying to change my behaviors, I'm going to give that individual the growth to change.
So just real quick, I see in the comments, the first one I respond to says, never should be shared to other people as a private convo. So the way that it was shared was, previously, Hernandez had gone live and, explained some things about the situation, and people asked for, hey, where are the receipts on this? It was sent. My observation of the situation was that the people that had her back were also holding the lives about the situation in the context of which they understood it from Miss Hernandez.
Is everybody okay if Corey comes in the box for this?
That's up to
Absolutely not.
Hernandez, not
Nope.
me. Yeah, that's
Because we're not
No.
talking about Corey, we're talking about an image.
Okay.
They then
If he wants to have a conversation, he can have that conversation with me privately. I did not
Sorry,
address
Corey,
him
it's
on
just a
the app.
respect
I am
thing.
not addressing it.